Weeks of absence. I'm back with you, and I'm very happy about it. I think it was the last thing was Guru Purnima, and it was a little dodgy with the Wi-Fi. Hopefully this is going to be okay. So I have to thank Aditya Srinivasan. Every time I want to thank him, my screen goes away, so I have no idea what's going on with that. But anyway, so one of the questions that came to me, again from my very dear colleague and friend from the days when I was a teenager, Shamkane, was to talk about Chanda. Now, Chanda is a subject that's interesting because it has a different understanding in the Carnatic system and a different understanding in the North Indian system. So first of all, the origin of the Chanda. Again, I've lost the screen, so I get a little confused as to what's going on. Chanda, as far as I understand, are Sanskrit syllable-based rhythmic verses that came back from the Vedic period. I mean, even before the Ramayana or Mahabharata or Puranas were written. So this is way back when, I mean, before BC, before the modern calendar even began. So that's that far back. Chanda, syllable-based verses. And there were quite a few of them, but there were 7 that were prominent, you could say, and they had meters assigned, and then I think the shlokas and padas and all those things that came to us later in the form of the Gita and Ramayana and Mahabharata were then written in these chandas. So these chandas, the 7 major ones, Sanskrit syllables, were known as the 7 birds. I mean, I'm giving you an English translation, but they were known as 7 birds. And the top one, the first one of them, and probably the most popular and most frequently used chanda, was the Gayatri. Gayatri Chanda, and we also know Gayatri mantras and all that, and that basically became the formation of Rig Veda. So that was the Chanda, and the Gayatri Chanda was a 24-syllable verse, which was divided into 3 sets of 8 syllables. So 8 into 3, 24. And so that's where you got your first of the chandas, chanda meters. And then, of course, the second one was Ushni, which was 28 syllables. And that was a mixture of 2 verses of 8 words each, and 1 of 12. So 2 by 8, that's 16, and 1 of 12, that's makes it 28. And then there was Anushtub, which was a 32-syllable verse, which was eight lines into 4 times. Eight beat things into 4, so that's 32, and so on and on. So it went 20 that happened, and I have a feeling that. And I don't know that there's probably no documentation of that, but the rhythmist of those times, who were, of course, accompanying it. I mean, as a side bar, I would say that that probably explains why we consider Lord Ganesha in North India as the keeper of the rhythm, because he, of course, was the one who was the inscriber of our books. He wrote them down, so he must have figured out most of those chandas himself and put them in our books, in our and so the rhythmists of those times must have taken on jatis that came into play, like Khanda Jati, Mishra Jati, Sankirna Jati, Tishra Jati, Chatushra Jati, all those. So they came into play. Apart from that, and I think to do that, the rhythmist went on to another set of chandas. Now these were syllable based, the ones I just mentioned to you, so words based. But the others, there were others which were known as gatis, and also their main title was more chandas. And those more chandas were matra based, beat based. And 13 into 4, and then there was Sakari, which was 14 into 4, Ati Sakari, which was 15 into 4, then there was Ashti, which was 16 into 4, then there was Driti, and Ati Driti and Kriti, and they went on to about 20 into 4. Gatis or more-based chandas may have been the first basic formation of where our rhythm cycles may have emerged from. I'm not sure about this, but these more-based chandas are also in the Rig with. In South India, they may have taken this into the Jati system, whereby they took, say, for instance, 8 by 1 may have become Ek Tala and so on, and so that's basically my understanding of it. 8 was a common number, and so that is the origin of the chanda. Then we in North India, we kind of took those chandas and created the Drupad ang from it, where the compositions were chanda based. Like for instance, so so that's like a chand based idea on the syllable system, and Drupad obviously developed that syllable system and moved it forward rhythmically speaking. We, in terms of North Indian, later on, Pakhavajis and Tabla players, kind of combined the idea of chanda and jatis and came up with Geetang, and Khanda Anga and so on. And so all that got kind of developed and mixed in a hybrid. Now, one of the interesting thing about Mure, matra-based jatis, is that it's also one of the main ingredient of it is lagu. And lagu is a very important part of Carnatic rhythmic system. So so it's interesting that there are these things tied in together. And so I'll just give you an example. example or two of that and see where we go from it. Okay, so din din na dha din din na da tin, lost the picture tit din din na. So that's one of the chants, 7 by 4. We in North India tried to take it a little bit in a different direction and came up with the jati ideas. Adopted that from the Carnatic system. And so we went to Tishra Jatis and Khanda Jatis and so on. And there are most of us who also refer to them as Chandas. So here it is, one of the Tishras thing. which seems to be the one that we favor in North India, the 7-beat, what you may call Geetang. So in a way, a little demonstration of each. We started with the basic chand idea, which was based on the first system, which is the 7 birds system of chanda, and we did 7, 7, 7, 7, and a 4. So it still worked out in 32, but then Mishra and then Chatushra. So 3, 4, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, and 8. So that's basically my understanding of how this may have happened. There might be other explanations.